presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Well, hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobila. We are in the great state of North Carolina, set to kick off the round here at Quail Hollow. Frank, it is one of the most well-respected courses on tour.
And for good reason, Rich. Great layout. Also, we said hello to Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler. They recorded their first ever PGA Tour wins at this very golf course.
Now down to the first, 418 yards.
Dogleg right. You can see that bunker down the right side. Trees come in as well. Definitely giving it that shape to the right side. Fairway sloping that way as well. Not overly long, so you don't have to hit driver. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That one is just a little offline, and that will not end up in the fairway. Headed for the bunker? Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
He'll need to be strong with this. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
And getting ready for the putt.
Do that.
Spieth over his bogey putt. +1 in the early going. Teeing it up here at the second hole, Frank, it's a short par 3.
Yeah, it plays a little bit downhill, about half a club, Rich. There's a sort of shallow bunker in that back area, and also that green starts to reduce in size on the left side. Good par 3.
Birdie try up next.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that.
Well, Frank, this is something we've seen more and more of in recent years, players just on the fringe.
Yeah, it's good to see. It shows he's thinking. You don't just have to grab the lob wedge. That's it. Hybrid putt, you name it, whatever works. Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back, he didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost none. So to guarantee a 2-putt, well done.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. So, 2 over par for the round. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. 2, that the fairway starts to run out. And 3, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder, hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder. Oh, that's off the beaten track. You got 5 minutes to find it.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. So, third shot now for Rory McIlroy. He'll take that one all day long. Very solid, about 15 feet away. Third shot, looking for a good one. Spieth has this for par. Not used to seeing that. Going to drop a shot at the third. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Has not gotten off to a great start. 4 over. Now to the fourth hole here at Quail Hollow, just under 490 yards.
Yeah, they used to have the tee on the right side, which actually made that tee shot very uncomfortable. When they put the new tee box in on the left side, it's a little easier to hit that fairway because that fairway slopes from right to left. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Frank, this one is veering far to the left. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Set to go, not an easy shot by any means. And it is not looking like a good lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. Good looking shot right here. Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach. Get this one getaway. This is about concentration and focus at this point. All right, hanging in. That's a par and 4 over. These putts keep the round together. Always take that. Good par putt right there. Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the 5th, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. You're sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here.
Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. You'd rather it be in the rough.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another. That's an absolute beauty.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. Little bit uphill. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
This is a 9-footer. Bottom of the barrel, and now they're 2 under. So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Wow, Frank, this is all you want in a par 3. 250 yards here at the 6th.
Hey, that's what these guys need, especially in a PGA championship. Fortunately, the hole plays a little bit downhill, but 250, whichever way you cut it, is a big par 3. This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Might be. Could be. Oh, he's going to love it.
How far was that? That was miles away.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Clean this up with a tap. Well, he has that for bogey, and I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 3rd hole seems to have really shaken his confidence. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5 7th.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Settling in now after that tough start.
Has it?
Maybe wet. Unfortunately, that ball is wet. After hitting it in the drink, this is the fourth shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for 11.
Getting set now over the putt. This game's amazing. You're rolling along, life is beautiful, and then bang.
Step away from the controller.
Total depression. All right, good putt.
The rhythm of that stroke. Didn't try and bash it in the back.
Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. If you're going to lay it up, lay it up. If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today. Normally you'd say that's a bad tee shot, but this is a pattern, Rich.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. You really like to see players show some tight, Frank, and that's what we're seeing right here. That was a good birdie right there, and that poor start to the round seems like a long time ago.
It is, just when we thought they were dead and buried. No more.
Did the job right there. Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Ricky Fellas have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Short grass, second shot. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself that it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Has this one for par. So, Frank, that's a bogey, and you see something with the body language here?
Yeah, I think we noticed that back there with that double bogey, Rich. Since then, it's almost like doubts crept in, a little bit of uncertainty. That is the beauty of this game at times, but really, if you want to be a champion, that's one thing that you have to change. Somehow, you've got to forget what's just happened. We haven't seen that yet.
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation. Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
See if he can clip this one perfectly, drive it in there from about 120 yards. That is classy.
They have a chance of going in.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. Locked in on the read and the speed. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Birdie chance now for Jordan Spieth. So begins the climb back. Clean this up with a tap. So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
Oh, there's two really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Well, certainly playable from here. Ball is in the first cut. Not too bad.
There's no snack, though.
Wow, I thought he made that. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Oh, man, just slides by. And only a tap in left. Good putt. Settles in over the putt. No fireworks, but not bad. That's a par. Stays at 3 over.
Even par, currently.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Par 4 12th here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently, it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right, and then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know your line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot.
Should be safely on deck.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Third shot for Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth for par. Drops it, and he's at even par. Just a couple of feet. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Now to the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. Has a front right portion. There's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
That one was running so high. We are dead on 200 yards away. Wind's still a challenge out there, and they've thrown him off all day long. Let's see if he can find some comfort level here before the end of the round. Good, clean contact, and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Good read, good line, well played.
In for a bogey. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
That ball is lost in the water. So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot. Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to two.
Not what you wanted to hear, but this is the fifth shot after the ball went into the water.
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. Frank, he might like this one. He might like... Oh, he's going to love it, Frank.
Whoa, what a bonus.
He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Had been playing reasonably well. It's getting away right here. The eighth shot on the way.
Well, you could say the horse has already bolted. Now, I mean, the best he can get away with is still going to be a bad score.
Little shaky behind the wheel today, Frank.
Oh, shaky? Maybe put both hands on it. Rich, do you think we should tell him this fairway out there?
Yeah, he's been in the rough all day long. From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Frank, you know this game can just take the wind out of your sails. Tough sport.
Everybody would love to drive it down the middle of the fairway, knock it to 10 feet and make the putt. We know it's not always going to happen, but play to your strengths. You might be chipping well. You might knock the odd 30-footer in. You don't have to play perfectly to make a good score. That's an absolute beauty.
He'll need to be strong with this. Headed for the bunker? Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
On the 15th green in regulation, but not yet in the hole. This is about a 30-footer, and he'll look at it from a couple of different angles just to try to get a feel for it. Oh, I thought he had that. Looks like he just misread that. Getting set now over the putt. Nothing wrong with that par putt. For par. Two over for the day. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, how about this approach shot to the 16th, the beginning of the Green Mile?
There is no other option but the aerial attack here at 16. Front bunker means it has to be carried. The one on the right really isn't in play. But that little hollow in that left front of the green, you've got to fly the ball at least 7 or 8 yards onto this putting surface. Second shot.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Clean this up with a tap. So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Just 2 holes remaining here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the signature par 3, 221 yards, the 17th.
And they have a multitude of tees here. One of the new back tees is actually where the old 16th green was. And if you think don't go left is the way to play, then that won't work either, because right's not that much good. This is it. Stand on the tee and you better hit a good shot.
That one was running so hot. Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Frank, I hate to go negative, but let's clear a few things up. The penalties when you hit it in the water versus hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, some people, that's a good question, Rich, because some people think they're almost the same, but when you hit it out of bounds, you're actually losing a stroke and a distance. For example, if I'm teeing off on a par 4 and I hit it out of bounds, I'm penalised a stroke for hitting out of bounds, and I'm hitting my 3rd shot off the tee. When I hit it into a water hazard, I don't have to lose all of that distance. I can drop the ball up just short of the water hazard. So the distance penalty isn't the same as if it was out of bounds.
Now on to his 3rd shot after the last one went into the water. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking might get it close, and just a great shot.
These putts keep the round together. Rough day so far, 4 over par on the round. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area. Just over 290 yards to get past that. And then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time, though?
Playing his 4th shot after the 3rd was wet. Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
And getting ready for the putt. This can be a cruel game at times. That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double from about 8 feet. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. This golf course has been demanding today, and the scores reflect that. 7 over par. Disappointing round overall, Frank. It looks as though the range is going to get a visit today.
Oh, yeah. Grab a bucket of balls and you've got to work out the swing as quick as possible.